Well, good morning. It's nice to have a little bit of a crowd this morning in the theater. We've got about 70 or so folks in here, partially because we're going to hear some music today, and also because we thought it'd be nice to have a few advisories come to these assemblies, so have the feel of being live and actual. So I am glad to be at the beginning of the third week of school, and I'll talk about that momentarily, because I thought it'd be helpful to flesh out some of the issues we're all dealing with, and how we can continue to work together to make sure that it's 20 weeks and 30 weeks of school and a full year. First though, I want to talk about the Loaves and Fishes Soup Kitchen. This is a tradition that has been at MBA for over 30 years. And essentially, MBA hosts a soup kitchen once a month at the Holy Name Catholic Church in East Nashville. We typically have people sign up to go down to the church. They have already purchased some food. We've raised some money through collections we do at Assembly. We cook the food, serve the food, and clean up once a month. Unfortunately, this routine has been halted in terms of our working there once a month because of COVID-19, but it hasn't halted in terms of our providing some food for the community that attends that soup kitchen. So it cannot happen in person, but we are continuing to provide food to these hungry neighbors. Since April, we've been catering the community meals and hoping to return in person as soon as possible. We obviously can't take a traditional collection at Assembly, so we are collecting using Venmo. Please look for the signs around campus today in the daily announcements and on the Service Club webpage. Any size donation is appreciated. And to remind all of us, we do the soup kitchen on the first Saturday of the month, and since this Saturday is the first Saturday of September, it begins this week, and we hope you will decide to help support it. The money goes to buying the food each month. I'm really glad the senior class is here today. It's a sign that we're moving forward. It was a decision that I thought would help us make some progress, but not worry people that we're bringing everybody back right away. I know there's a range of attitudes about the virus and being around one another, but I think it's safer to be a little cautious and to be smart about how many people are on the campus and how we figure out all these mitigations. And maybe I'll just go ahead and talk a little bit about that. One of the issues I wanted to mention today was lunch. And so we've got to get used to this system of filling out a form each week. You did a really good job with it this week. Mr. Walsnovich sent out a note today thanking you for what you're doing. When you go to your lunch periods, please remember the following. Get the lunch that you selected for today, because they make so many for the different lunch periods to meet the expectations of what you signed up for. Secondly, you can't go back for seconds right now, and so please understand that and do your best in being the kind of citizen that you would want someone to adhere to those protocols for lunch. Secondly, I want to talk a little bit about breaks. You know, the time that we get a little probably more uptight about the school day would be the periods where there's a lot more freedom to be around one another, because naturally all of us want to be close to our friends and probably not practice that physical distance. So the more you can do so, remembering those protocols, the better. It's, as I've been saying, it's okay to take your mask off for a bit when you go outside. It gets hot and tiresome to have it on all day, but when you're getting close to people, inside or outside, please remember to have your mask on. We've learned some things about quarantining. We had bit of a disagreement, I guess, with the health department because they wanted to quarantine the hockey group one more day. We probably miscounted, but they're going to be back tomorrow, and so that reminds us to, again, practice that distance wherever you are in athletics or activities, or obviously during the day in the classrooms. We've all seen a lot of information on the news about socializing. You saw colleges like Alabama have over 1,000 cases in the last week. We saw colleges like UNC and Michigan State close almost a week or less after they opened up. And our goal is not to close. Our goal is to keep things open. And most of the problems tend to occur when you're not kind of in an organized activity, when you're somewhere on the weekends, when you're socializing. So please be thoughtful about how we can make all this work during and away from school. It's occasionally important for me to comment on some of the news that we're all seeing, and obviously the racial issues have been horrendous in the country and really painful to watch for, I think, all of us. And I feel really strongly that as a school with a motto of gentleman, scholar, athlete, we have so much opportunity within that word gentleman to practice, to live, to truly understand that caring for each other, regardless of race, regardless of background, regardless of religion, regardless of sexual orientation, that we understand, all of us in this community, that we can lead in this way. And I think it is really important for MBA to think about this topic and to keep it at the forefront of our minds. And so I mention that because it's hard not to think about questions like that, and it is really important for a school like ours to keep that at a center focus as what we believe. Last week I announced 3 students who had earned Eagle Scout, and we found out about 2 more this week. Again, please let us know. So I'd like to congratulate, wherever you are on campus or off campus now, Jack Manning and James Murph for earning their Eagle Scout awards. Let's give them a round of applause. It feels so much more natural to have a little bit of an audience in here, and I appreciate that. As I said, we're going to have a little music today, both at the beginning right now, so if the headmaster singers would come up on my left, and then at the end of assembly, we'll hear from the rock band. Some of you who've been in my office know that I have a collection of about 20 bobbleheads, and so I thought it was appropriate to bring Elvis this morning since we're having some music. He's up front in front of me right now. This is a song that most of you know, entitled "It's All Right."
It's all right. It's all right. Said it's all right. Have a good time, 'cause it's all right. Oh, it's all right. Now we're gonna move it slow. When the lights are low. 'Cause when you move it slow, it feels like a moan. 'Cause it's all right. Oh, it's all right. Now listen to the beat, kinda tap your feet. 'Cause it's alright, have a good time. 'Cause it's alright, oh, it's alright. When you wake up early in the morning, feeling sad like so many of us do, have a little soul and make life your goal. Surely everything's gonna come to you. It's alright. It's alright. It's alright. Oh, it's alright. Someday I'll find me a woman who will love me and treat me really nice. When my rose gotta go, my love she will know. Morning, noon, and in the night. 'Cause it's alright. Said it's alright. I said it's alright. Have a good time, 'cause it's alright. Oh, it's alright. Everybody clap your hands and give your life a chance. 'Cause if you got soul, everybody knows that it's alright. Oh, it's alright. Say if you got soul, everybody knows that it's alright. Oh, it's alright.
Thanks to our music department, thanks to our headmaster singers, and Breckenridge, great job. Not easy to sing with your mask on, all of you, but particularly the solo. A few years ago, we established a Montgomery Bell Award based on an international model of academics, service, adventure, and so this morning, Mr. Sharble and Mr. Sawyer are going to present the Montgomery Bell Medal. Let's give them a round of applause. Come on.
Thank you, Mr. Joya. As Mr. Joya was just saying, the Montgomery Bell Medal Award recognizes student merit and accomplishments during an academic year, in this case, 2019-20, that reflects MBA's values as established in the school's credo. The award measures student activity in several areas to include service, academics, leadership, athletics, and skill development. Today we're going to present 18 students who have met all the requirements for last year for the Montgomery Bell Medal during this past year. We'll present medals to the following students, and if you're here, come on up and Mr. Sawyer will pin the medal on you. If not, if you're watching this virtually or online, see me when you get back on campus and I'll make sure you get the medal. So the following students have earned the Montgomery Bell Medal for academic year 2019-20. Iman Barrett, Peyton Bryan, Max Guanahara, Clay Cruz, Matthew Fox, C.H. Henry, Luke Murad, Henry Neck, Thomas Peterson, Ryan Schmotke, Max Sly, Middleton Henry, Stanford Toombs, Joseph Bellardo, Bo Wilbanks, Joseph Moore, Josh Mai, and William Cook. Yeah, what I'll say, if you intended to sign up to be a candidate for the medal this coming academic year and you did not do so at Activity Fair, look for an email from me this week that will solicit candidates again. So thank you very much for your attention. Thank you, Mr. Sawyer, Mr. Jordan.
Thank you. All right, I'll let Mr. Sawyer continue pinning since that takes a little time. And also thank Mr. Sawyer and Mr. Sharble for what you're doing with this medal. It was a great way to, I think, follow up on that international recognition. So thank you both, and congratulations to all of you. Now I'm going to ask a senior to come up. I've mentioned in Assembly the last couple of weeks that if you're interested in making a talk, whether it's a student or faculty member, it's a good time to do so. It's probably awkward to bring too many outside speakers in, and some of the best talks we have come from the people within the school. Last week, Senior Thomas McRae wrote me, and Thomas is involved with crew, and he's a member of the Headmaster Singers. He was just up here. He's got a lot of enthusiasm, and I really appreciated the note you sent last week, Thomas, as well as the words you put together for today. Join me in welcoming Thomas.
Y'all hear me? I'm Thomas. I'm a senior, and I'm so happy to be here with y'all. But here we are, guys, 6 feet apart. When I found out that our senior year was going to be unlike anything we hoped for or ever expected, I was honestly kind of heartbroken. I cannot put into words how much I love every single member of the class of 2021. It means so much to me. All the dumb little things we do in the hallways, I could not imagine not being side by side in these trenches that are the hill. It's the most valuable thing to me. But here we are, 6 feet apart. But here I think we realize that there is an opportunity. So we have to lead this class. The seniors right now, we are on the front lines. We have to get this school through the COVID pandemic, and that is an extreme gravity. But if we do it, we will be remembered as the class who overcame the biggest obstacle of all time and go down in history as one of the best class NBA has ever seen. And that's an opportunity we cannot give up. But to balance out this gravity that we have of protecting our entire school, I think we need to counteract it with sheer and utter goofiness. I don't think we can look at this 6 feet and make that as an excuse to be defeated. I think this 6 feet is an excuse to scream at your classmate across the quad. Just the dumbest thing, because that's what we need. We need to keep a positive attitude right now. Can you imagine our student section full of seniors, 6 feet apart, built up with rage because we can't mosh? The volume is going to be nuclear, people. We need to come at this with a positive attitude. For the grades below, y'all need to help us out too. These 6 feet, and maybe your best friend isn't in your cohort, but you aren't a way to you can't lay down and just be like, hey, I'm my best friend, I'm not gonna talk to anybody. You're 6 feet away from making a new lifelong best friend. These 6 feet could be seen as bad, but in reality, we need to look at these 6 feet as the room our community needs to grow. Please, everyone, keep a positive attitude. I know it's tough right now, but I think there's a lot good to come out of this. Thank you.
Thanks, Thomas. I appreciate your words. I didn't exactly know what he was going to say until he wrote me last night. And when I read those comments, I thought, well, this is a great message, and this is a guy who cares about his classmates, and he wants to see us make this a really great journey. I also like the way you phrased it, one of the best classes, because it's really hard to say what's the greatest class. This is my 27th year at MBA, and I might be able to say some things about certain classes, but you don't really judge things until you watch what kind of people they become, 30, 40, 50 years later. But I think you are right. I think if together we make this school year something special and right and continue, we are going to remember this school year in a really great way, and your class, I hope. So thanks again for those words. Behind me and to my left are some of the set constructions for the play Frankenstein. As you probably will recall, each fall for about 21 years now, we've done a musical in collaboration with Harpeth Hall, but we knew it wasn't going to be possible to do the musical, so Dr. Fuller decided to pivot and to think about what we could do with a smaller cast, and decided that doing a play about Frankenstein, given the all-school read, was a really good plan, and I was proud and thankful for that decision. Next Tuesday, I should say, because next Monday is Labor Day, we'll see a scene from Frankenstein, and give us all a chance to start thinking and talking a little bit more about the book, which we will do over the course of the next months. So that play will premiere I believe, well, certainly that week, Wednesday or Thursday of that week. And Dr. Fuller in the theater department has moved the play on Friday to the afternoon time. So there's not a conflict with the football game, which is our first game of the year, and that is on September 11th. Should be a really fun way to start the season, which I know has been tough to have delayed for the team and the coaches, but we'll look forward to that game, and we'll look forward to being in the new stadium on September 11th. And I also want to highlight for you how important it is for people to work together, like the theater department and the athletic department, in these ways. And I think how that is a small example of what I was suggesting in a much bigger way of the gentleman motto of really understanding how to care for one another, have real empathy and appreciation, and take action. All right, we're going to end assembly with some more music, as I suggested. And now the rock band's going to come up, the Big Red Rocks, and sing Build Me Up, Buttercup. Let's give them a round of applause as they come up.
Just a little down, Mr.
I know the audience in here loved it, and I appreciate all of you performing today. Look forward to more of that. Thanks again, those of you who spoke today, and I appreciate your attention. And we'll just relax for a few minutes before we go out and then go on to the next class. Thanks.